We're live. Are we live?
We're live.
Yes.
We're live, dude. It's the week 1 recap show.
We're live.
It's your boy, Donz. Yes, so we're live. We're so live. We're the livest we've ever been.
It's week 2, Donz. The Birds
It's week 2.
are already 1-0.
Can you believe it? The season started and we're already beating the living crap out of the Cowboys.
And now it's
Chiefs
Chiefs
time. Time to catch another L.
We're going to beat the Chiefs, bro.
You know who else took an L last night?
Who's that? Who? Oh, no. Let's just let them figure it out.
No, it was me.
Oh.
I got caught on IG. You know how sometimes people do those fake posts of like fake trades and like trolling accounts and stuff like that? I got hit with the Tyreek Hill getting traded to the Detroit Lions. And I was like, no way.
No.
And then I looked down to see who it was. And I don't know if you know who it is, but it's the guy that looks like Napoleon Dynamite with the glasses. His name is like Patrick Official or something like that. And he just goes on and he just trolls like it's so funny. He's just like, oh. Yeah. Anyways, I caught the L last night.
I think he's going to the Chiefs,
Donz.
I think he's going to the Chiefs. He's coming back.
Who?
Tyreek Hill.
You think so? Mm-hmm. You know what I think a travesty is right now is that as human beings, we like to think that we learn our lessons and that we become better human beings.
Negative.
But Andy Reid strikes again, giving one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL, maybe of almost all time, almost zero weapons to work with. Is it reminiscent of something to you?
Tom
A
Brady.
strong tight end, a decent running back, and no wide receivers. What's that sound like?
Tom Brady.
No, it sounds like the 2001 through 2003 Philadelphia Eagles with Donovan McNabb in the league, tearing it up with James Thrash, Todd Pinkston, Freddie Mitchell, Greg Lewis. Chad Lewis was a beast. Why does this man not learn? Why is he doing this to Patrick? Why? Why
Insert froggy voice here.
Why?
Well, they do have Rice, who's suspended for
What
driving.
episode is all of Asia?
They got Worthy. Oh, damn. They got Worthy, except Kelsey ran into him. They got Kelsey. They got no run game, though.
All
That's the
I
problem.
hear is a bunch of mediocre players. Let's talk about it, dude. Worthy, he's not that special. He is a specialist that he does one thing very well. Good receiver. I'm not saying he's a bum, but he's not the caliber of wide receiver that you want to be playing with Patrick Mahomes. What are you doing? Rice, same thing. Rice is like a solid, what?
They had Tyreek Hill. Got rid of him.
Yeah, because he's a problem. Don't you see what he's doing in Miami? He literally single-handedly has destroyed Mike McDaniel's career and with the Dolphins. He's out of here. He's going home. I can't wait to listen to you on the Soder podcast. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. He's about to be a regular guest on Soder's pod now because he's probably going to get fired this year.
He should get fired. No offense, with all due respect. I should get fired too, but I still got my job.
We
are the champions, my friend.
We can't get ahead of ourselves.
The Chiefs keep on fighting, but they suck.
This is a big revenge game, Donz.
Huge revenge game.
On Sunday. But we got to talk about week 1, Don. So let's not just skip ahead.
Let's skip ahead. And what better way to start talking about week 1 than the travesty of Spitgate, brought to you by Dak Prescott and Jalen Carter. Now, I have perhaps maybe a different take on this situation.
Let me hear it.
Now, I will start off by saying this: spitting on somebody should never be acceptable unless it's requested upon a consenting adult or two.
Yes.
But you, as an offensive line, as a team, just sat there, watched Dak Prescott got spit on like he was daddy's little good boy.
Yeah, you're right.
Nobody did absolutely anything to Jalen Carter. I'm sorry, but if you're the people that are supposed to be protecting Dak Prescott and you let that type of level of disrespect take place right in front of your face and you don't got your boys back, the season's over for the Dallas Cowboys, let me tell you.
If someone spit on Jalen Hurts, do you know how fast Dickerson, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata would be in the middle of that pile, Donz, ready to take someone's head off?
I think...
What?
Damn. I think literally a resurrection would occur. Jason Peters would just come up from the 50-yard line, and the bodyguard would just, in prime form, just take out the entire team. You know
Jason
what number
Kelce
60
magically appears.
Yeah, you know what number 60 did to poor Jalen Son when he punched him right in the face, which was awesome. I'm sorry you're catching strays, Jalix. That was fantastic.
Should have been a penalty, no?
1,000%. He actually just got fined today for I don't know, was it 120, 115,000 or 15,000 or 5,000? It could be a number. It could be a number.
Speaking of fines, Jalen Carter was fined $57,000, and I looked up as to why. That's what he gets every game.
You know who else is fine?
Game.
You know who else is fine?
What?
Kay Adams, how you doing?
How you doing?
Queen has spoken. I
Bring her back to Good Morning
TV
Football
this week. Huh? No, I'm talking too much. You tell me.
Bring her back to Good Morning Football. That's where I was introduced to her.
She was the best. She deserves more. Matter of fact, give her Roger Goodell's job. Kay Adams for commissioner.
She's doing her own show now, which is cool. She goes around to all the training camps and talks to all the players. But I want her on Good Morning Football.
I want to lather her up in McChickens.
Donz.
I don't know what that means. My bad, dog.
It's okay. I'm going to get us back on track.
Let's get back on track.
Thursday night, Cowboys at the Eagles, dropping the banner. Donz, let's just start with this. I put on the TV to see the pregame, and what do I hear? Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. They got the whole stadium cheering, screaming, singing the Eagles song.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3.
All I could think of.
And watch our Eagles fly.
Bro,
beasts.
All I could think of was all the other fans of all the other teams are watching the opening night game, and what do they hit their power button on their remote to see? A bunch of Birds fans just singing the Eagles chant song, dropping a banner.
Oh, you know, the man.
All the other fans were just so sour, and I loved it.
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I blinked and missed the entire banner night. I felt
Damn,
like, what?
dude.
I was like, what am I watching? Is something supposed to be special?
It was quick.
It was so quick, dude.
BG
Honestly,
and
it's quicker than me, if you know what I mean. Aha, good morning.
Cricket.
No. I did go for a run at 10 o'clock last night.
Holy hell.
Fast.
Damn, dude.
I was getting my on.
Good, dude. Get your steps in.
It's hard to run when you're fat.
You're not fat, dude. You're full of muscle.
I'm ginormous. Look at the camera. Adds 15, and that's 30.
No, Donz. Yeah, so like it adds 15, but in reality, you're
7.
not big.
Anyway.
Okay, so
My bad.
It's all good. The owner, Jeffrey Lurie, came out on the field with BG. Love to see BG out there, who will also be getting back into the media this year on NFL Network. But he was on the field, holding up his 2 Super Bowl trophies, walking out to the middle of the field. I just wanted to give us a minute so we could talk about the banner drop, the singing of the Eagles song, and just this is the last time we can say it because the season's sort of started. But we were the champs, Donz. We're still the champs.
We're still the champs.
And just like that, it's a new season.
It is a new season. So, kind of starts in disaster, huh? You have our poor fullback. For some reason, his name's escaped me, even though I always know it, except for this very second.
He has an odd name.
No, it's not odd. It's just double named. It's just double named. Why?
Double entendre.
I'm sorry, bro, but you got hurt last year and you got hurt again. Travesty. Why can't I think of his name, dude? It's gonna bother me so much.
I don't think I ever knew it.
Fred VanVleet.
No, that's the basketball player from Toronto, dude.
I know, dude, but it's so close to that.
I know. It was sad to see an injury.
Very sad.
They showed him kind of just sitting up, the defeated face of like, I know something's wrong with my knee or my leg, or so he knew he was hurt when it happened. unfortunately.
I'm sorry I don't know your name, bro, but get better soon. Get well soon. Sending positive vibes.
So,
and nobody knows my name, so if that matters to you.
It was just a weird start to the game. You have the injury, there was a long delay, and then they come back from commercial break and immediately go to the Dak Prescott, Jalen Carter situation. That takes 5 minutes to get situated. So I'm sitting there with all this adrenaline, excitement, and then it slowly is getting drained away by the 5, 10, 15 minutes of like Spitgate. And then 3 hours later, we find out, wait, Dak Prescott actually spit at him first. You know they had that film the whole time. So why didn't we get that right away? That was odd to me.
Because
but
they want to hate on our boy, dude. It's a story. It's a story the whole world's talking. I was going to say the same thing. One of the most disrespectful things you could do to a man is spit and challenge their manhood. Like, that was very disrespectful by Dak Prescott. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying there's a place for it, but I can completely understand a world where that's the reaction of a young man who thinks he's on top of the world, who's trying to rip your head off and is going over there to talk trash, and then you spit in his feet and give him the utmost disrespect, and he's like, are you crazy? I'm Jalen Carter, bro. And the rest is history. So very bad, very poor. Don't do it.
Just the look in Dak's face. Like, he knew what he was doing, bro. Credit to Dak Prescott for poking the bear.
No, not credit. Boo. I get what you're saying, though. Yeah, credit.
It's just like, if you know a guy is a loose cannon and he's a bird and I love him and we're going to pay him $40-50 million in the next 6 months, I'm sure of it. But he's definitely a loose cannon, Donz. We don't have to go into what happened at Georgia and talk about what happened and someone losing their life, but that's a situation.
We're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it.
We're not going to. We're just going to.
You just did.
We're going to throw it out there so the people who want to dig into it and look into it can do so. Others can just move on. But he was supposed to be a top 3 pick and ended up falling to us. So Howie again finds these guys somehow as they fall, just like Jahad Campbell, who I'm sure we'll talk about later on. But Jalen Carter, it's like I was listening to an Eagles radio pod or something, and they were basically saying it's like you're playing the game with your strong hand tied behind your back, one arm tied behind your back. When you have your best defensive player not there, Dak Prescott after the game mentioned that they had their game plan on offense basically planned around blocking Jalen Carter and figuring him out. And then you start the game and he's not there. So huge change.
Change of
for
momentum,
the Birds.
Change of confidence, change of everything. And the defense, it showed. Jalen Carter really hurt the team by not being available. The Cowboys just diced us up the entire first half. I mean, that first drive was a beautiful drive. And I know our boys went and did the same thing to them. Ain't no thing but a chicken wang, which is why I love these Eagles and hate them at the same time. Because, we want to talk about the in-betweens, whatever. We're almost to game 2. You want to talk about the game, go watch something else. Kidding. But where was I going with that? The Eagles, man. Every single time last year, we would take a team's best punch, constantly scratching and clawing, and no matter what they did, we still would somehow find a way to go up by 1 point, to go up by 3 points, to go by a touchdown, or just how deflating and disappointing it is that you feel like you have control of the whole entire game. Because I don't know about you, I had like the feeling of despair the entire first 12 minutes of the first freaking quarter. Until the offense went and did it again, I was like, damn, this is awful start to our season. But then we ended up getting to halftime up by 1. Are you kidding me? Credit to the Eagles or shame on the Cowboys?
Credit to the Eagles.
1000% agree.
I mean, their first 4 drives, I went in regards to the Cowboys, touchdown, field goal, I think. But in the second half, they were shut out. So whether it was Vic or the players just getting adjusted, shout out to the defense for making adjustments and playing without your best player. One other thing I want to talk about Jalen Carter before we move on is when you're a new player in the defense, I don't know, well, not even rookies, Quinion, Cooper, Jalix Hunt, guys that are getting more of an opportunity now, when you lose your leader on defense and your best player, they wouldn't admit it, but I'm sure mentally they were like, oh shit, you know what? we got to focus now. We lost our best player.
Do you think they see him as a leader, though? I agree with you, best player, like best force on the team defensively, but best leader? Oh, well, not best leader, but leader?
Definitely not a leader.
No, definitely not a leader.
But, I mean, like, our best player's out. So therefore, it's going to make my job a lot harder now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
They're definitely relying on him. As I just was asking a question, if you think the locker room views Jalen Carter as a leader, because I think
0%.
It sucks for him because this first game could have helped him walk the path of leadership, and now all this negative things is back on top of him. So it sucks for him. Got to grow up a little bit, but at the end of the day, there was still an Eagles game to play. And I can't tell you how disappointed I am in the fan base. All week long, I've been hearing how terrible Saquon Barkley played. All week long, I heard about how the offense didn't take deep shots or blah, 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 or they got a large chunk of their passing yards on the beautiful Jahan Dotson pass, which why would you complain about that? That's literally the ideal situation. You mean to tell me your number 3 can give you that production? And if he's somebody, Quez Watkins, which couldn't pull this off, that can do that for you consistently week in and week out, we easily have the best wide receiving core just by numbers sake. You know, we have, like, maybe there's 2 people better than Devontae and AJ Brown, but there's not 3 people better than Devontae, Brown, and Jahan Dotson. So why are people mad about that?
It reminds me of college football, Donz, and it's not enough to just win. You need to dominate. You need to show off. You need to run the score up. You need to do fancy plays. You got to win in all these flashy ways. Chick Stig, the long ball, comes to mind. Yeah. It's not enough to just win now. You have to dominate. You have to have big plays in order for people to say
it's fun to watch. It's not fun to watch, but
I agree.
The beauty of football is that it can be ugly, and
it's a struggle.
Sometimes it's sexy, and sometimes it's a struggle, and other times it's a walk in the park.
Donz,
what?
We do have to talk about one other thing that we have not discussed yet.
What?
AJ Brown targets.
Yeah, we can talk about it as I'm mouth breathing.
1 target.
Yeah.
The lowest targets I think he's had in his career.
Yeah.
Now, I did send you a clip of him in an interview, which he had today, where he was sort of pressed on, well, you know, you only had 1 target. Were they taking things away from you? Were they double teaming you? Are you injured? Were you a decoy? And credit to AJ. Calm, cool, and collected. Not like last year when I think the quote was...
Well, it's only week 1. Give him time.
Exactly. He'll be reading the book before you know it. But the quote, I think, or the question was about, like, what is the offense, what does the team need to work on? And AJ's response was the passing game, a.k.a. direct shot at Jalen Hurts. So we're not there yet. AJ was very calm, cool, and collected after the game. Basically said, hey, I got zoned up every play. I got maybe 1 play of man coverage. They shifted every zone to me, which if you're a smart defense, that's what you do.
Yeah.
And they forced Hurts to take those checkdowns, those middle-of-the-field routes, and not really let him get those deep shots out to either Devontae or AJ. So I'm going to give credit to the Dallas Cowboys and their game plan.
1,000%.
I mean,
with you.
That's the national... takeaway that I was getting was, holy hell, look at the Cowboys. They might be a good team.
Everybody's talking so much smack saying that AJ Brown can't run routes no more, that AJ Brown's washed up, that maybe this is it for AJ Brown, bro. And bah humbug to these nuts, bro. There's no way AJ Brown is cooked. I've seen him, even that play that he made in the 4th quarter with that 3rd down catch was fantastical. Quite frankly, a spectacular catch, a great football play, and directly responsible for winning the game. And we said, wow, we're gonna get this 1st down. And was it 3rd down or was it 2nd down?
3rd down, biggest play of the 4th quarter. Who do we go to?
On 4th.
AJ Brown.
We went for it on 4th because our quarterback's the man. I forgot about that. You know what's crazy? You watch that scramble at the end of the game. Jahan Dotson's wide open. Wide open right in front of his face. So it didn't even matter. Even if he didn't stick and plant and hit that, we still would have got that 1st down. That
was a common theme that ended last year and followed us into this year was Jalen Hurts and his rushing ability. I think he had over 60 yards rushing in the Super Bowl. He had more rushing yards than Saquon Barkley. So
more
you might be right.
Than Saquon this week too.
Yeah. You might be right that.
But go ahead.
What?
Dude, I wanted to talk about Saquon. Sorry.
Let's do it. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, because I kind of stopped halfway through and then we transitioned.
Let's talk about Saquon
into something else. Everybody needs to chill on Saquon. The only difference, and yes, the second quarter was a little sloppy. Landon Dickerson not being in the game was a huge component. So now you had two first-year actual, well, I guess you wouldn't call him a starter, but a first-year starter and then a first-year backup going in there to try to hold off them boys. I mean, their D-line's nothing to mess with. They're not horrible. They don't have a dominant presser like Michael Parsons. But anyway, I digress, dude. Saquon Barkley. In the first quarter, it might have not have been, in the first half, it might have not have been the biggest runs, but they were all impactful plays. There were tone-setting plays. There were plays where you think you have everything locked up. You're right in front of him. You're breaking down, and then he stiff arms the living hell out of a linebacker to go get a first down, or he jukes to get an extra 3 yards, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Saquon's impact to this game cannot be understated. He's not always going to have 200 yards. I'm not looking for him to always have 200 yards. I don't give a damn about that. Just be productive, be a tone setter, be a difference maker in the game. And Saquon did all of those things the entire game. Second half, you get stalemated a little bit. That's just the way the story goes sometimes. But we're also over here trying to kill clock all game long. I don't know why your hand's still up in there, but it's there. It's there.
It felt to me like the Cowboys watched the Super Bowl and the Chiefs sort of game plan. Now, I'm no coach, but it seemed to me like the idea was kind of, let's just fill the box in the middle of the field, not let him run in between the tackles and sort of find those gaps and holes and let him get to the second level.
Yeah.
It felt like 8 to 10 runs, Saquon would sort of hit the middle, not see anything, and kind of fall forward for 2-3 yards, or the Cowboys D-line was getting pressure and pushing us back a little bit. So I'm not concerned, Donz, but I didn't leave the game saying, hey, Saquon looks great. Dude looks just as good as last year.
I feel the complete opposite.
Well,
I think
that's
Saquon
why
looked amazing.
we do the pod.
He looked elastic. He didn't get injured. He was fluid. I loved what I saw out of game one, and we got the dub. Now, I'm not going to say we're the best team in the entire planet or anything like that, but we are defending Super Bowl champions, whatever that means to you.
Damn right.
So, I don't know. I was pretty positive on literally everything on offense. Dallas Goedert and Jalen being able to connect for multiple receptions, being, I think, the leader in receptions for the game.
Definitely.
Which he did a great job. Unfortunately, he got injured again, which is why you won't get your bag. Guy, what are you doing out here? Put some dirt on it. I get it, though. I do feel for the guy. Hopefully he plays this week. You think he's playing?
I don't.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't.
Anyway, second half. My biggest issue.
Cowboys didn't score any points, so
Neither did the Eagles. And yeah, whatever. We
got
had
a field goal.
a storm that delayed the game for an hour. It sucked. But whatever. Got to decompress, got to chill. So Landon Dickerson's back, and that's probably why he didn't go back into the game. But I didn't like how the offense catered to A.J. Brown in the second half. And I know that sounds crazy because he only had one target. Maybe I just over-analyzed the few times that I saw it, but I felt like I saw it every time on offense. Every single passing snap to me looked like A.J. Brown right away. A.J. Brown right away. A.J. Brown right away. And they were triple teaming him. They were rolling the coverage to him. They were trying to bait him with the linebacker. Sometimes it's not as simple, as like just run a slant route and throw it. If that linebacker's sitting there, he's going to pick you off. You can't do that, or you're going to get your player decapitated. And I know sometimes you got to do that. I don't know if you're like Jalen and be like, yo, you sure you want this ball? Like, I don't know if that conversation gets had. But I felt like they tried to force the ball to A.J. Brown just by design and not game plan. And I think it slowed down the entire offense. Once we stopped exposing them for the middle of the field, which is where I think their defense is kind of weak at, like second level back, I think that really screwed us, and I'm scared about what the rest of the season is going to look like. Because if we're doing things to just try to make somebody happy and not executing on it, which is the biggest issue, that's a problem.
Is that a Kevin Patullo problem or a Jalen Hurts problem?
I actually think it's an organizational problem from the top down. I think it's a Sirianni, Patula, and Jalen problem. And not like in a pull the fire alarm. Let's get out of school. We'll hit the beach, slap some old lady titties.
We're going to the beach.
I don't even know why I said that, but
it could be a young lady. It doesn't have to be an old lady.
Has to be old. Oh yeah, I forgot. The boy is here.
Yeah, man, you gotta be careful. Anyway,
wild episode. Anyway,
so
I don't think they're meshing well offensively and thinking as one unit. Right now, they're all very much Jalen, Kevin, Nick. I'm just guessing and making that up, but that's how I feel about the offense.
It's hard for me to say that it felt like we were catering to AJ when he didn't get the looks. So it might have ruined the play, but I saw a couple of clips online today specifically where the Cowboys were doing nickel blitzes. So the slot corner, it was either Trayvon Diggs or Deron Bland a couple times. And the breakdown explained to me that basically when you see a hot corner coming off the edge, there's got to be a quick throw. And it showed AJ doing the right thing, cutting his route off, knowing the blitz was coming. Like you just said, you saw 5, 8, 4 yards, quick turnaround. He's wide open, and the ball's not there. So, is that Jalen Hurts deciding not to throw him the ball?
1,000%.
We saw a lot of Jalen extending plays and running using his legs. This is not a fantasy show, but one of the reasons you don't want running quarterbacks is they're not going to throw it to the running back. They're going to just run on their own. They're not going to hit the check down. They're just going to run on their own. So maybe that was a symptom of the blitz coming and Jalen saying, you know what, I'm just going to take off instead of hitting AJ. But I saw the same thing you did, Donz. AJ cut his routes off, did what he was supposed to do, just didn't get the ball.
But you just said it, though. It was a disguised blitz. You didn't feel the pressure. You didn't see the pressure until the pressure happened. And at that point, it's too late.
Too late.
Because there was a couple of times where Diggs did a great job disguising it. And he was sitting in the slot. Oh, yeah, he was sitting in the slot. Jalen looked over, and then you could see as soon as Jalen turned his head to look to the right, Diggs just, and this is just like a veteran presence thing of maybe believing in what you know instead of what you see. And Jalen's still very young in his career. He's by no stretch of the imagination like a seasoned vet. He just got to the vet's door. You know what I mean? They just let him into the club. He's been playing in the front yard, being the king of the playground, and now they're opening the door, and maybe here's a sip of Corona.
A couple Ronas.
No, but you know what I mean? So he still has a lot to learn. Just because he's went to a Super Bowl and won one doesn't mean he knows everything. And I believe in my boy to figure it out. But I think that was more of a result of him not understanding what was happening to him until it's too late, but still responding in a positive way. It's not like we lost a ton of yards or whatever. So I'm pretty encouraged overall. Let me ask you, are you... Let's talk about this in the level of stocks, right? Is your stock up on the birds, or is your stock down on the birds?
Down.
Down? Why?
Down. I think the defense, honestly.
What?
That first half was ugly. It was. I know that Jalen Carter wasn't there. We made adjustments in the second half. We'll talk about the rain delay and the biggest play of the game that happened before it with Campbell. But I just watched the Cowboys go up and down the field, even though I knew, Donz, that they had a good offense. We talked about it before the game.
Great offense,
George Pickens is there. He's in a contract here. He's motivated. He had 4 catches, I think, for 40 yards. It wasn't him. It was who? C.D. Lamb.
Yeah.
Can we talk about his butter hands? 3 drops, maybe 4. If he catches those passes, Don, so the Cowboys win the game, I can't guarantee it, but I'm almost there saying, man, if he just lands one of those, it might be a different game.
Oh, yeah, of course it would be a different game, but honestly, isn't that just football in general? Every single game has its moments where you either perform or you don't, and the results of the game heavily implicate what happens. And it's funny that you say that your stock is down because of a defense, and I actually have the complete opposite opinion. I think my stock is up on this team because of the defense. After everything settled down, and everybody was on level playing fields because the momentum wasn't on anybody's side. The defense stepped up big. And if you want to talk about CD Lamb dropping the ball, what about all the interceptions that we possibly could have had? What about Quinion dropping another ball? What about all the balls bouncing up in the air and going through, who was that? Young's hands or whatever, or Jomo's going through Young's hands. There were so many times where the ball was flicked up from something the defender did that we almost created more turnover, and we had 2 turnovers. We turned the ball over twice on our defense. What more can you ask for? Not you, but like, what more can you ask for from a defense? I'm actually super happy because I'd rather have an opportunistic defense that can create an extra possession for us than somebody that's always just gonna go 3 and out or stalemate you. And I know that sounds dumb, but what are the odds that you're gonna stalemate every single team that you play, or is it more probable that you're going to cause an interception, you're going to cause a tip, you're going to cause a fumble? I like my odds against a team like that, and this is just week 1, a defense who's brand new playing with each other. I know there's a lot of returning faces, but there's also a lot of new ones, and that actually brings me up to one of my next points that I want to talk about, if you're ready to transition from here, unless you got something else to say.
We can. I just want to talk about the defense for a second.
Hell yeah. Because my point's defensive too.
All right, then go ahead.
No, you go.
All right, so in the offseason, we talked about the changes that the Eagles had made, the players that they've lost. We talked about any concerns we had about the team, and I brought up to you the defense, specifically.
You can keep going.
All right, so.
I forgot to turn on the phantom power.
No big deal.
It's okay. It's on now.
In the offseason, we talked about concerns or worries for the Birds, and mine was about the defense. Specifically, what? Who we lost, the top 2 sack earners on our team, Josh Sweat going to Arizona, Milton Williams playing in New England. Donz, how many sacks did the Eagles have on Thursday?
0.
That hasn't happened in at least 15 years. I want to say closer to 20, but the Eagles haven't done that in at least 10 years. That is why I'm concerned for the most part. I did not see Dak Prescott under a lot of pressure. I didn't see him scared, concerned, worried in the pocket like Patrick Mahomes was in February, like Tom Brady was against the New York Giants. He looked pretty calm, cool, and collected back there, going up against an offensive line who, let's be honest, is probably average at best. They do have...
though, it's week 1.
I know.
I
get it.
This could be their year. They are all first-round picks. Ha-ha!
It's just a fly. Yes.
Sorry, I had to kill a fly.
It's also
the flies.
The players that we have are now in positions to grow.
Oh, my bad.
A Jomo, all these young guys who are taking the places of Josh Sweat, Milton Williams. Josh Uche, who had a couple great plays, by the way. He's explosive.
Yes, he had a great game.
Oh, my God.
But we don't have any veterans other than Uche, and he's new to the team.
So my only concern would be, hey, how are we going to get pressure, Donz? Is Vic going to start blitzing more? Are we going to just depend on different guys? Or are we just going to get better and create pressure?
Yeah, we're definitely going to get better. And give Dak Prescott some credit. Dak Prescott can sling the ball. He's never had an issue slinging the ball. Dak Prescott's issue is that he is Mr. Zero Clutch. He is an automatic transmission. This man does not know how to turn up the gears when the heat is on. He's a 1958 Oldsmobile, and everybody else is driving a Porsche. Dak just doesn't know how to seal the deal. My boy doesn't get it on the first night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Donz.
Dak is great at throwing the rock, and he has 2 great wide receivers. And we got CD Lamb, who must have not brought Madame Zeroni up the mountain, because this boy cannot catch a break his entire career being Mr. Unclutch. It's Mr. Unclutch 1 and Mr. Unclutch 2. We should make a Dr. Seuss book, and it's going to be Dak Prescott and CD Lamb, and it's going to be how they're always failing. At the end of the day, Jalen Hurts, their daddy, puts them to bed, rocks them to sleep, and says, "Good night, honey. You will never be me." Oh, the Seuss. That was a bad one, but whatever. We're rolling.
No, that was good, Donz. So we have 0 sacks, and what is Howie do within 48 hours of the game ending, Donz? He signs
we gotta do something about this.
He signs us a pass rusher.
He did.
Zadarius Smith.
I'm excited, but I can't say I'm ecstatic jumping off the roof over the acquisition. You?
I just can't be more impressed with Howie Roseman. I really can't, Donz.
Okay.
I can't be more impressed with him.
Just said this.
Watches the game, sees an issue, and immediately tries to do something to fix it, to improve the team. You cannot tell me this guy doesn't love the Eagles and wants to improve them any and every chance he gets.
I agree.
I mean,
maybe a little reactive. I think in a positive way. This is definitely a good signing. But you want to give Howie Roseman some praises, and I actually kind of want to tone him down a little bit. Can I bring up my point real quick?
Do it.
The fact that your fourth round pick, fact that your fourth round pick defensive tackle Ty Robinson is inactive for the game is a huge disaster. Unless he's injured or there's something going on, the fact that your fourth round pick D tackle isn't freaking in the lineup on the 53-man roster, that's scary to me. And I know you miss whatever fourth round pick. Is it the biggest deal in the world? No, but kinda.
Well, considering we lost players on the defensive line, and all I kept hearing in camp was, wow, this guy's good.
Yeah.
This guy's unbelievable. He's making plays, and then all of a sudden he's inactive? What happened?
Maybe something happened. Maybe he doesn't know the defense. Maybe Vic doesn't like him, but pretty bad pick, man, if that's the case.
I got an idea, Donz.
I have hope, though. I'm not poo-pooing Robinson. I want him to do well.
Is there any chance? This just came off.
Why am I stretching my neck like I'm freaking trying to eat a 5-star leaf?
This just came to me now, but is it possible, Donz? You know football and schemes and X and O's. Is it possible that going into the game, we knew the Cowboys were going to be throwing the ball a lot and not running it, and he's more of a kind of a Jordan Davis when he came into the league, where he's not going to rush the passer very well, but he's going to get in the way, stop the run, clog up the middle? Is he one of those guys where the coaching staff said, you know what, we don't really need to start him. We're going to wait till a different game plan comes up. We've got other players we can play.
Maybe. I think that's possibly true. And damn, I was just going to say something. Oh, Jordan Davis, dude, great game.
One of probably the best games of his career, from what I'm reading.
1,000%.
Got a lot of opportunity.
Had, multiple sacks and everything. You said Dak didn't feel pressure. I actually feel the opposite. I feel like, and hopefully this isn't our MO, but we were right there from 3 strip sacks. We were right there from additional 2 to 3 sacks. We're right there. And not for nothing, but not having Jalen Carter creating that pressure up the middle and having that automatic almost always double team going there, or automatic triple team sometimes, depending, really influences what you can do with your other players. And now it's almost not getting the one-on-ones every time or the attention. So I'm still optimistic that this front defensive 7 can bring some pressure. I just think it's going to look a little bit different.
Jalen Carter last season, the most double-team player in the NFL, Don. So you hit the nail on the head.
He's a monster.
You can't block him with one man, and even then, you still can't.
Do you know who impressed me? Can you guess? On the defensive side, that's the only thing I will tell you. And it's a trick question because it's actually 2.
Who?
Do you remember the Thundercats?
No. Closeted, sheltered child.
Anyway, Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell in the middle. Ooh. And what did I tell you, dude? You let the player play the position that he's good at, and maybe you'll play some edge, but those two in the middle of the field, the speed that they bring to the football field, the knowledge that they bring to the game, when you have tight ends running seams and you have Jahad Campbell catching up when he's behind 8 to 10 yards behind the tight end, and he's able to sprint his ass off to knock the ball away and create a very pressured situation where it was basically an easy pitch and catch, it looked like. To have Zach Bond running down Miles Sanders and getting the opportunity to try to punch at the ball, which I thought was a little dumb, but he still made the tackle after the punch. Man, these two people on the field just shows the impact of what a real linebacker does for your football team, something that we had been lacking for so long, and the attitude that breeds to everybody else, because it's the most aggressive position that you're taking on blocks, you're making all the tackles, you're running across the field, you're never taking a break, you're always getting pressured on the pass, you're always having to be the one who's basically solely responsible for making the play in the run game between the tackles. Talk about night and day transition for Howie Roseman and how the Philadelphia Eagles value the linebacker position. I could not be more impressed with our young inside linebacking core.
Is Zach Bond going to become the leader of this Eagles defense? I heard him a lot in Mic'd Up in the Super Bowl, and he's going around to all the players and boosting people up and motivating them and keeping them level-headed.
New BG.
I mean, he's a quiet guy, but I almost feel like he's stepping into that role now. He got paid. Yep. He won a Super Bowl. He's got Jahad Campbell under his wing. I almost feel like he's going to become a leader for us.
1000%. So, couldn't be more impressed with those two. That's another reason why I'm optimistic about our defense. So it's funny that we came out of that game with opposing views on it.
Well, you told me you weren't impressed with Howie, but Howie strikes again with, like, how did the Eagles end up with Jahad Campbell? Oh, that's right.
No,
he was supposed to be injured coming out of college.
Time out. I kind of hate that everybody says that. Everybody in the NFL had a chance to draft him, and everybody passed on him. For them to say, like, this is some sort of, like, magical thing, like, Howie Roseman didn't plan this. Maybe he had an idea that nobody was going to draft him, and he was sniffing around the league and stuff. But, bro, to say it's Howie magic when it was the 32nd pick, I get the value that we supposedly have in him being one of the best players. I get that. But, come on, man. Sometimes it's a little bit of luck, and if fortune is on your side, then St. Mary Joseph, we got a baby.
I'll give you an example first. Jalen Carter. If he gets drafted by the Cleveland Browns, is he the same player?
No. I actually think he spirals out of control in Cleveland.
Thank you for making my point.
Actually,
my point is this:
Myles Garrett hit him with 2 helmets.
My point is,
I called Zach Rudolph or Mason Rudolph, whatever, for his helmet. Can I borrow that again, homie?
Yes.
The serial number on the helmet's scratched off.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay, what's your point?
I forgot now.
If Jalen Carter was on the Browns, would he be the same player? Maybe player.
Yes.
Maybe Jason Garrett.
So, the Eagles have a locker room. They have a leadership council. They have a team of leaders where when you come into the Philadelphia Eagles locker room, you are met with Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, who took them under his wing, along with all the other Georgia Bulldogs that we had, and basically said to him, hey, dude, you have a lot of talent. You can be one of the best players in the league, but you need to clean up your act. And up until the spitting incident, I was really impressed with Jalen Carter. Yeah. I say all that to say this, Donz.
People being a little too hard on him, in my opinion, but okay.
When you're the Super Bowl champions, you can afford to make a pick that you do, 32nd overall, taking a chance on Jahad Campbell. If you are the 9th, the 12th, the 15th pick, and you're struggling as an organization, and the coach and the GM are playing, coaching, GMing for their job, you can't go out and make a risky pick like that on a guy who has injury history and has injuries coming out of school, because it could cost you your job. So, Howie does deserve credit. Every other team could have taken him.
Yeah.
The Eagles, because of our infrastructure, are defending Super Bowl national champions. I get it. Howie deserves credit for taking chances on players who other teams are not willing to take chances on.
Yeah, I hear you.
Carter, Campbell's another one.
Picked in the top. I can't imagine the Baltimore Ravens not drafting him or the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, I guess you're right. I just picture Howie Roseman, like, being Emperor Palpatine, and he's pulling at Annika's heartstrings. He's like, I can save her. And he's just like, pretend you're her at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Tell him your back be twinking and twanging.
You know what else is funny, Don? I know this doesn't really mean much to most people, but he grew up an Eagles fan. So to me, when you grow up a fan of a team, and then you go to that team, you're going to give everything you can.
He's a beast, bro. He's a beast. Poor Miles Sanders got cut by the Cowboys right away.
He did?
Mm-hmm. He plays for who? The Denver Broncos now.
Wow. I can't believe they cut him.
I actually follow Miles Sanders on Instagram, and the night after the game, he posted a story, all black letters, I bet. And then
he knew.
The next morning or 2 days after that, I saw a picture of him in a Broncos outfit.
Leave it up to the Cowboys to have Javonte Williams have an unbelievable first half, probably the best he's looked in his career since college.
And then never give him the ball ever again.
And then we get to the goal line and we give it to Miles Sanders.
Yeah, so dumb.
I mean,
Miles deserved the carries to try to get the touchdown because of the long run. I get that. But Miles Sanders is now an older veteran in this league, and he's not a special talent per se. He's a talent, but he's not a special talent. And he should have got a break. The coaching staff should have known better than to run him out there. I mean, look at how winded he was at the end of that run. I don't know how hard he works, but to me, he looked dead in the water at the end of that run.
Donz, he should have scored on the long run.
He should have scored.
He should have scored.
But he gassed out.
You can't outrun Zach Bond. No disrespect.
Yeah,
I saw a clip
he pulled
of
the Shipley.
Bond ran 20 miles per hour. That's the fastest he's ran in his whole career. And Miles Sanders can't outrun this dude?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Well, now we know why he's on the Broncos.
And talk about Jahad Campbell punching out the ball. Everybody's saying it was young. It was not. I told you, too. I told you. Right as soon as it happened, I was like,
that was Campbell.
Son. I was like, that's all Campbell, bro. That's all the rook.
Let's talk about giving a rookie a boost of confidence in his first game. Like, obviously, they're going to watch the film and show him the great plays.
He's that dog, baby.
Bro.
We drew a little bit on your quarterback, and all of a sudden, it's a problem. We've been telling you we've been dogs since 2017. We've been dogs for years. What's a little bit of drool on your chest, baby?
Bring back the dog masks.
Bring it back.
Bring him back.
Except it's just Jalen Carter with drool.
So you're right, Don. The defense does deserve credit. They shut out the Cowboys in the second half.
Did I sway you a little bit?
I think we had a field goal. That was it, but...
Who cares?
I think I'm ready to talk Chiefs now.
I'm ready to talk Chiefs too.
I'm ready to talk
Chiefs quickly too.
Let's do it, bro. I haven't eaten all day. I'm hangry.
I'm hangry. I've been actually taking a page out of your playbook.
What's that?
I bought them 1 bars for work so I don't snack and munch on bad things. And then I bought a box of oatmeal so I can have some oatmeal. I've realized that maybe I've been looking at you a little too long in the pod, and maybe I should look at the camera.
There's a kid in my office who's really young. He's 23. And he's always he's eating the worst shit, dude. He's always snacking on just bad things. Chips, Cheez-Its, crackers. So he sees what I bring into work all the time. Yogurt, protein bars, protein drinks. All of a sudden, last week, he comes in, all proud, plops his bag down with his lunch in it. What do I see? 2 protein drinks, a yogurt. He's finally turned the corner. He's eating nuts now. I'm having an influence on the young people, Donz, and I love it.
You know what I say? And I tell this to the younger dudes, and it's like... And I've always been a little bit bigger, but I've always been in shape big, whatever the hell that means, even though I'm fat. It happens quick, yo. You may think it don't, but it happens quick. And most people aren't as disciplined. Most people aren't willing to fight the battles that I fight in order to have good numbers when my blood work comes. I will tell you, I literally went to Popeyes last night because it was mad late after I got done dashing. And then as soon as I got home, I literally went for like a 2-mile run. I'm literally fighting my demons and battling the food decisions I make actively. And if you ain't willing to put in that type of work in order for your blood work to be good, because look at me, I should have the beatus, but I don't. I don't even have the sugars. I don't even have the high sugars, bro. All the doctor said is perfect numbers. Take it easy on the sugar, but otherwise we'll look good.
So you got the clean bill of health from the doctor, huh?
It's not even high sugars, bro. It's just I think he just looks at me and he's like, just be careful with the sugars.
Judging you.
Yeah. Nah, he's a cool doctor. Shout out, doctor. I'm actually not gonna say your name. I don't know if there's some SEC implications. I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
Anyway.
You know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
It's Chiefs week, dude. It's revenge week for them.
It's Chiefs week.
I'm not scared. We're favored on the road in Arrowhead. Let's remember the last time the Eagles went to Arrowhead.
The 0-2 Chiefs? Is that what you're talking about? The 0-2 Chiefs? I think we're talking about the 0-2 Chiefs.
I hope so. Although, it's like this weird thing where if the Chiefs lose, to me it almost increases the odds they get Tyreek Hill. And then that would, I'll be honest, Donz, I don't want to look ahead, but I'm going to paint the picture for you in the audience. It's week 14. the Chiefs are going to play Denver, and their starting receivers are the following: Tyreek Hill, Xavier Worthy, and Rashee Rice. Donz, I'm scared. I'm scared.
I'm not, and let me tell you why.
Tell me.
Tyreek Hill wakes up early in the morning, opens up his windows, and what does he see? A beautiful view of the ocean. Oh. He steps outside. There's little lizards crawling away from under the floor mat. The weather is perfect. Bikinis are everywhere. Coconuts falling from the trees. Lambos, Mercedes, BMWs. You think he's gonna leave? You think he's gonna leave Miami's nice warm weather to go back to Arrowhead, land of the barbecue and the cold, where everybody literally does nothing except watch the Chiefs, and that only recently started happening because they were a god-awful team for so many years? I don't think he would want to go back to the Chiefs. I really don't.
So you think he would leave, but he'd go to like a warmer city, like in L.A.?
I don't think he's in it for the game anymore. I could be wrong. I could be wrong with Tyreek Hill. I
have nothing good to say about him.
Ball outrageous and have a good time.
When he first got to the Dolphins,
there's nothing wrong with that. I want to prefix it. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
We would be surprised how many players care more about their own money and personal achievements than winning the games. But
well, it's a job, you know.
That's the ugly side of football.
Just like your job, it's a job sometimes to most people, which I get.
But anyway,
let's go Chiefs Eagles.
What I was going to talk about was the last time the Eagles went into Arrowhead, Donz, we left with a image or video of Nick Sirianni screaming and yelling at the Chiefs fans about, we won, we came in here and beat you guys, and we all know how that season ended. It wasn't with a Super Bowl. It was an embarrassing loss. So let's hope this time Nick keeps his cool, and I'm sure he's going to be reminded of that this week in the media about, hey, man, it just wasn't a good look, if you ask me. So let's hope he's learned his lesson.
I hope Nick Sirianni grabs the Gatorade jug and throws it into the stands. And I hope it hits a baby.
A Kansas City baby.
I'm just kidding. I'm not scared of the Chiefs. Offensive line, advantage us, I think. Defensive line, advantage us, as long as Jalen Carter plays, I think. Linebackers, advantage us. Edge, I'd say advantage them. They probably have better edge players. We'll see with the new acquisition. But right now, Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt has a lot to prove. I can't give you credit for that. And then they got, who's their edges? I always forget their names, but they're pretty solid players.
You're right, but the big thing I read or heard about with the Chiefs week 1 was Chris Jones was the only one who was getting pressure. The edges were not. So that's why the Chiefs were doing more blitzes and more nickel blitzes and getting creative, because Chris Jones was the only guy who could really get pressure.
Who did the Chiefs even lose to? I forgot. Please tell me.
The Chargers.
The Chargers.
Herbert went up and down the field. They're usually a running team. Herbert, I think, threw the ball almost 40 times.
Chargers were a revamped offensive line, though, right? They got some players up there. But they lost
their right tackle this offseason. He and the Falcons' right tackle both got hurt within 2 weeks of each other.
That sucks. But they still had all offseason for preparing. Apparently, they prepared enough. So, yeah, I hear you. Trent McDuffie, maybe... You think Trent McDuffie's a better cornerback than Quinyon?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Right now. Today, yeah. Okay. Maybe not next year.
I'm not saying no. I'm just curious.
He's really good.
Yeah. I think Quinyon is pretty special himself. And I think he carries a swagger that McDuffie doesn't have.
Every player has motivation, Donz, but who's more motivated to win this game? Eagles or Chiefs? Who needs it more? Who needs this game more?
I think the Eagles need it more.
Come on.
I think the Eagles need to prove it to themselves that they are who they think they are, that they're not going to have Super Bowl jitters, and that they're not going to crumble at the face of the first type of adversity that they see. The way we started that game, the penalties that we got were so bad week 1 we need to prove that we got to clean it up. And if not, I think that's not to be doomsday guy, but the season can go sideways if this is ugly this week.
It's a must-win for the Chiefs, if you ask me. I know they don't have to win this game because they could go 0-2 and still go on a long run, which they've done. Or they could sneak in as a wild card and still end up in the Super Bowl. We know what they're capable of. But the way they lost in Week 1, the way they got embarrassed in the Super Bowl last year, the Chiefs haven't played well in 6 months. Yeah. So not only that, I know we talked, it's kind of odd, Donz. The Eagles lose their best player on defense. The Chiefs lose their best weapon on offense. We haven't joked about it yet. This is where you usually come in, but I saw clips of Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift on the podcast, and Taylor Swift is going on and on about her football knowledge and how she was running around the house all excited they drafted Xavier Worthy. And you could just see Kelce like laughing, doing that nervous laugh. What happens the first drive on offense for Kansas City?
So whack.
Kelce runs into Worthy and separates his shoulder, or
that was so whack.
He did take accountability afterwards for the game, like, hey, no, that can't happen.
No. Yes, this is what you're saying, but no, don't give me that. Don't give me that, Travis Kelce, taking accountability. You're a vet. You know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you did. Shame on you. I lie to yourself all the time. Not you, like Kelce. Lie to yourself all you want.
I wonder whose fault that was.
I mean, I guess it could have been Xavier Worthy's fault, but the way that he trucked him was the most intentional hit I have ever seen.
It was just odd that you very rarely see that.
He turned into a defender and was like, wow! He could have very easily not delivered that type of hit and delivered a different type of hit.
I just think, obviously, it makes their offense less explosive, but you know they're going to come out with some kind of Chiefs trickery, trick plays, all kinds of crazy stuff because they have to win this game. They're without Rice due to suspension. There was talk maybe a month or so ago. Wait a minute. They're not going to suspend Rice for the first 6 games. He's going to be playing in the Eagles game. They're going to suspend him later in the season.
Yeah, what the hell is that? That was so lame. Like, just take your lickings and deal with it.
I mean, if you're a Chiefs fan, you'd rather have him towards the end of the season. As an Eagles fan, I'm absolutely thrilled that he's not playing because he is a stud. Yeah. Worthy and Rice is going to be scary at the end of the year. Yeah. But I say all that to say, Donz, the Birds are favored going into Kansas City. Slight favorite, but still a favorite.
They should be favored. I'm curious to see how we respond back after week 2. I want to see what the offense does as far as getting the ball outside of the numbers. I felt like we lacked a little bit. And everybody complaining of, get AJ the ball, bubble screen, bubbles. Are you dumb? Like, can you please just rewind 3-4 years ago and remember how awful our offense looked when all we were doing was throwing the ball 20 yards down the field, down the sideline, and getting absolutely zero traction and maybe scoring or getting 1 first down all season on like 48 attempts of doing a freaking screen at the line of scrimmage. If you can't spread it out and open up, you can't throw those balls at the line of scrimmage. It's almost always an automatic pick 6. There's so much that can go wrong. Just no. I understand throwing 1, but to be like, we need it. Like, no.
I agree with you, Donz, but I also think for the Eagles to be at their best, he needs to be involved, or at least a threat.
For sure. I'm just talking about the screens at the line of scrimmage and like doing those quick dumps. Like, doesn't always work, man. And running the slant, if you throw that first window, like, yeah, maybe he can catch it, but he's gonna get trucked right away. And I know AJ's power is to bulldoze people, but it's still a dumb thing to do if you don't need to do it.
If you're a betting man, I bet AJ has over on his catches this week. I bet you he has a decent game.
We'll see, because he owes me for them fantasy points. Not that he cares. Not that I expect him to care. I'm just glad we got the dub. I think the Eagles are going to struggle a little bit in this game, but inevitably, I think we're just going to be too talented for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're going to maybe start downing themselves. But the thing that is scary, and the thing that I always say, is you never count Patrick Mahomes out. I would not be surprised if this team comes out on fire, because honestly, I know I said it matters more for the Eagles, because I think the negative side effect of us losing the game could be bigger within the locker room, but the Chiefs really need to win this game if they want to have a chance of competing for that number 1, number 2 seed.
One of the things the Chiefs struggled with in week 1, and I guess you could say last year, is
being a football team.
Is running the ball.
I need to find a new accent, dude.
Pacheco struggled They don't have another back that they've been featuring. So I think if the Eagles can shut down the run game, make them one-dimensional, that's where we can pin our ears back, maybe get a few sacks, and remind him of what happened in February.
Yeah, agreed. Anyways, anything else you want to talk about the Chiefs game? Because I'm just excited to see this kickoff and see the Birds take the field yet again.
I think the score will be low scoring. One of the themes of week 1 in the NFL, very low scoring, Donz. Very low scoring. I think 1 or 2 teams made it to 30 points. So it was a very low scoring week 1.
That Bills-Ravens game was amazing. Talk about Ravens being the Ravens all over again. Talk about not learning your lesson. Talk about how you're dominating the entire game and then you change your offense again in the second half because you want to control the game over Josh Allen and not put pressure like you never, ever, ever learned. This is why I told you I would pick Nick Sirianni over John Harbaugh because he keeps making the same mistakes. The playbook when you won the Super Bowl shouldn't be the same playbook that you're using today. And I hope you learn that lesson because you guys deserve more. You guys are such a good team. To lose to Josh Allen, not that Josh Allen is a slouch or anything like that, but to lose that game because you decided to play keep away ball instead of continuing trying to score, instead of continuing trying to push the issue like you weren't playing against one of the best quarterbacks in the league is a travesty, bro.
The Ravens were playing not to lose. They weren't playing to win.
Yeah.
You can't play scared.
That's always what they do. They always be on some bullshit. Anyway.
Final score predictions, Donz, for the Chiefs game. What do you got?
Eagles 27. No, Eagles 28. Chiefs 13.
Whoa.
No, wait. Timeout. Chiefs 17.
11-point win for the Birds. Okay, Donz.
Oh, weird score.
Wow. I'm going to go low scoring. I'm going to go 24-21 Eagles on a late Jake Elliott field goal with about 3 minutes left.
Nice.
Elliott.
Let's go. Either way, we both got the Birds winning.
Are we going to do any? Is there a This Just In with Donz this week?
Yeah, I got one. It's kind of half-baked. The premise is there, but
I'm ready.
Driving around, listening to music, put the AI DJ on, so maybe it's a couple of songs that I never listened to before.
Yep.
And I have to tell you, and I've noticed this my whole life, and maybe you have, and shout out to my Spanish homies. But I was listening to a song in Spanish, and I'm telling you, we must be stopped. We are people that are out of control sometimes with our music, and the things that we sing about are insane. I was listening to this song, and I was just reflecting on what I was actually hearing, like the words and the story. And I don't know the name of the song. I'll look it up. Maybe I'll do this again another time. But the song. Okay. Instead of laughing, I'm gonna tell you. So if a song was about. It was about this guy who's infatuated with this woman, and the woman had a man, and the whole premise of the song was that the guy that was, hooking up with the lady was paying the lady's boyfriend or man to stay away until later at night so they can hang out and be together for longer. And it was basically just like that salsa dancing, like, let me give you some dough so I can have your girl.
This is sick, bro.
And it was just like Spanish people always be singing about the most out of pocket stuff, and people just out there just bailando, like moving your cinturitas and stuff, bro. So I think it's pretty funny. And this just thing with Donz is we must be stopped. What are we talking about? Anyways, it's pretty funny.
That was good, Donz.
For me.
Well, I can't understand anything they're saying, so I can't contribute.
I know, but would picture like listening to a song about somebody paying somebody's husband or boyfriend to stay out so they can spend more quality time with their woman, and that's the whole premise of the entire song.
That's wild.
It's insane. Anyways, anything else?
This is it, guys.
This is great. 082. Please follow. Please like. Please subscribe.
All the above.
1of.32 on Instagram and the TikTok. Find us 1of32 on the YouTube and 1of.32 at Gmail. Nope. 1 day worthy32@gmail.com if you want to write to us. We love y'all. Signing off.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.